It was a war that globally defined a generation. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Iraq war movies and TV shows. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be looking at the fictional films and shows dealing with a widely covered early 21st century conflict in Iraq. While not necessarily having to be strictly set in Iraq, our choices reflect the effects of the war both at home and on the battlefield. And although they are set in the same country, movies like Three Kings and Jarhead have to sit this one out, as they are focused on the Gulf War. Number 10, In the Valley of Elah.
I was wondering if you knew if your son had any enemies.
One of the first movies to come out of the Iraq War era to focus on the effect that combat can have on a soldier's mind was the award-winning Paul Haggis and Tommy Lee Jones vehicle In the Valley of Elah. Featuring the heart-wrenching story of a former MP searching for his son who disappeared shortly after returning from Iraq, In the Valley of Elah manages to make weighted commentaries on the nature of American military involvement overseas, as well as explore America's own racial bias.
You're a good father. You don't have to prove you loved him.
With a top-notch story co-written by Mike Bohl, In the Valley of Elah also gives unflinching depictions of military camaraderie, paired with psychological distress for returning American soldiers.
I shouldn't send heroes to places like Iraq.
Number 9, StopLoss.
You've been stop-lossed.
While the war drama wasn't a box office hit, Kimberly Pierce provided a topical look at American military policy in her in-depth and nightmarish StopLoss. Referencing a controversial loophole in military regulations where honorable discharge is bypassed and tours of duty are extended, StopLoss turns its camera on soldiers returning to the US after a terrifying skirmish that leaves nearly all involved with PTSD.
With a shortage of guys and no draft, they're shipping back soldiers who's supposed to be getting out.
With bleak subject matter showing the unfortunate problems suffered by the main characters, such as alcoholism, domestic abuse, and even suicide, the film is made even more tense by their sudden recall to combat due to the stop-loss policy, testing the characters' allegiance to their homeland.
Who wants to play? Let's start shooting people.
Number 8, The Wall.
How long we been here, man? 18 plus?
Consisting of only 3 actors and grossing a little over $4 million on a $3 million budget, Doug Liman's The Wall actually proved to be a worthy thriller. Using its limitations to its advantage, the film sees John Cena and Aaron Taylor Johnson portray 2 American soldiers who have been pinned down by a sadistic enemy sniper. With both injured and with no radio to call for backup, the situation seems hopeless as they are toyed with at every turn by their attacker. As they're left with limited resources and death approaching, the tense thriller leaves audiences wondering how the soldiers will make it out alive.
You. He's coming for us.
Number 7, Turtles Can Fly. Bahman Ghabadi's hard-hitting Turtles Can Fly has the honor of being the first film to be made in Iraq after the fall of Saddam Hussein. Set in a Kurdish refugee camp at the dawn of the US invasion of Iraq, the war drama chooses to follow a group of children instead of soldiers and adults. Starkly depicting the abject poverty of those who suffered most at the hands of military oppression, each child has a terrifying background story to tell. With most of the characters affected by issues ranging from blindness to childhood trauma, Turtles Can Fly proves to be a cynical and necessary portrait of the innocents affected by violence. Number 6, Fair Game.
Know why you're lying. And never forget the truth.
Taking a bureaucratic turn, Fair Game tells the unbelievable story of governmental corruption in the face of nuclear warfare. Based on biographies written by ex-CIA agent Valerie Plame and her diplomat husband Joseph C. Wilson, Fair Game explores life outside the combat zone.
7th floor is the director for a joint task force on Iraq. I want you to head up operations.
From the offices of the White House to the deserts of Niger, and featuring top-notch performances by Naomi Watts and Sean Penn, Doug Liman's 2010 political thriller sets the stage for one of the most controversial news stories surrounding the Iraq War, the purported weapons of mass destruction hidden by Saddam Hussein.
Are you telling me that you're 100% sure these tubes are not intended to create nuclear weapons?
One point about intelligence, nothing is 100%.
So,
Number 5, Green Zone.
It is not for you to decide what happens here.
Capitalizing on the success of Matt Damon in the Bourne movies, director Paul Greengrass brought the star in once more for his controversial but gripping thriller, Green Zone. Named after a safe area of operations in Baghdad, the film sees Damon as American officer Roy Miller, who becomes embroiled in a nationwide manhunt for a fugitive Iraqi general who reportedly knows the location of Saddam's elusive WMDs.
You're off reservation for a reason. What is it? Well, I came to find weapons and save lives.
Maintaining similar fast-paced editing techniques and hard-hitting action sequences employed by Greengrass's Bourne films, Green Zone also makes comments on the American presence in Iraq after the 2003 invasion, using weapons of mass destruction as a silkscreen for ulterior motives, which condemned the film's reputation for some viewers.
What happened to your leg?
My leg is in Iran since 1987.
Number 4, Generation Kill.
Watch your sector.
Giving us a rock star look into life in the Marines, David Simon's hit miniseries Generation Kill pulls out all the stops in depicting the United States invasion of Iraq. With Rolling Stone journalist Evan Wright tagging along for the ride, the civilian perspective shows the soldiers of Generation Kill in a whole new light.
Sergeant, I didn't get to shoot.
Focusing on the emotional complexities and frustrations of its large-scale cast, the versatile actors playing the members of the 1st Reconnaissance Battalion in Generation Kill make it a layered story grounded in realism. But what else would you expect from the creator of such hit shows as The Wire and The Deuce?
You want logistics? Join the Army. Marines make do.
Number 3, The Messenger.
Bad news, Mr. Burrell.
The families of fallen soldiers are often a familiar subject tackled in war films. However, the people behind the scenes delivering the bad news hardly ever get any thorough treatment. This was not the case with Oren Moverman's devastating yet moving film, The Messenger.
Did anyone talk with you already, ma'am?
How did he die?
Telling the story of a decorated Iraq war hero and a recovering alcoholic commissioned with alerting next of kin that their loved ones have lost their lives, the movie is full of emotionally charged moments, begging the larger question of the role many have in wartime. With amazing performances by Ben Foster and Woody Harrelson as the titular messengers, Moverman's film is not to be missed.
Could be worse. Could be Christmas.
Number 2, American Sniper.
God, country, family, right?
An intense character study, as well as an exploration of a war legend, Clint Eastwood's biopic about the late Chris Kyle, a military sniper with a reported 255 kills, measures the actions and effects many soldiers undergo while serving to protect their freedom.
I just want to get the bad guys, but if I can't see them, I can't shoot them.
Starring Bradley Cooper as Kyle, the film shows life on both fronts, at home and in the battle zone, not sparing the gritty details of moral decisions that must be made with the pulling of a trigger. Despite its warm reception, American Sniper was also heavily criticized for ignoring some of the darker elements of Chris Kyle's story. Nevertheless, it was still nominated for several Academy Awards, including Best Picture.
I was just protecting my guys. They were trying to kill our soldiers, and I'm willing to meet my creator and answer for every shot that I took.
Number 1, The Hurt Locker.
Follow him, you got him?
In one of the most memorable war films of the early 21st century, Catherine Bigelow's multiple Oscar-winning thriller is a crowning achievement in cinematic storytelling. Despite not having a standard linear plot, The Hurt Locker manages to perfectly capture the intensity of bomb diffusion as well as battle zone tactics.
Going to war is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It could be fun.
Ranging from close-range shootouts to lengthy and nail-biting sniper battles, the film's ultimate metaphor is about the rush one gets during combat. With 3 close-knit soldiers in a bomb disposal unit taking the spotlight, the varying psychologies of the characters are complemented by amazing cinematography and sound design, putting viewers right in the heat of the moment.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die comfortable.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.